Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a Hurricane Milton update. So we've done a lot.
Text message from it.
We've done a lot since Hurricane Ian came in. And basically, you know, this
traditional marketing. This is the biggest thing that Fortune 500 companies have upside down. Often when I look.
All right, so there's docks. They're open. They got open right away. They lucked out and they did the right formula this time. Look at how much sand is on that lot. Look at how much sand there is still left. So there's a lot of sand up through here that still is kind of rogue sand. It's sitting on people's lots. I don't know if the city considers that Bonita sand and they can just go get it, or if it's belongs to the people that it is sitting on. So there are piles that are still here. There's quite a bit that still needs to be done. These beach accesses are like they're working on that one there. See how much sand there is on that lot? That whole lot has 2 feet or 2.5 feet of sand. There's some sand here as well. There's 2 of these houses down here. Now this is the one, we did a video on it and it's in for permit. And we should be getting that soon. So look at this lot. That lot has 3 foot of sand all over it. Now these are multi-million-dollar houses and they brought people in and they've cleaned up their lots. I noticed that some of them have had to put their pavers back in because of them bringing their big equipment up on them. You hit a little snag on the corner and you got a big piece of equipment. You reset the whole driveway. It makes it bad. The other thing is they hit a gas meter. Look at how much sand is on that one. They had a gas thing, and these lots are so narrow. They put the gas for their natural gas appliances, and they put it in the driveway. Well, there's a cap, and one of the guys hit it. So these are the 2 houses I was talking about that are just sitting here, that are I guess they're going to be torn down. You see all the sand. There's more sand here, and then over here on the right, they're going to put in a new walking trail, and the walking trail is going to come all the way from Fort Myers Beach and go all the way up. So it's going to make it a recreational trail, some place that we can all walk and ride our bikes. So a lot of this has been cleaned up. It looks really good. It looks almost like it did before Ian came. There's another house that I don't think they're tearing that one down. They rebuilt it. Now this one, we tore 3 houses down here. You see how much sand is on there? I bet that's 30, 40 truckloads. And there is still sand being brought out. There's a lot of sand on the beach. I have a video out on that as well. I did a video on how much sand has been put back on the beach, and it's in piles, and how they're doing it. I don't understand what they're doing. They're putting like a big shelf and 10 foot tall, and I don't know what they're expecting to accomplish with that, because if you've seen what happened when docks put 10 foot of sand all the way along the berm behind docks. I was down there when that storm first came in, and it erased all of that within minutes. It just washed it away like it was nothing, because it wasn't compacted and it wasn't held in by any vegetation. So here's another lot that's got a ton of sand on it. Now if you're the owner of these lots, that could be $10,000 or $12,000, $15,000 worth of sand that you don't have to go get if you can leave it. So we've come a long way since Hurricane Milton. So that little machine right there, he's bringing out sand from someplace. I don't know where he's getting it from. Some of these people got right on this and they've got it all cleaned up. It looks so much better than it did. It looked like we had a snowstorm here, a gigantic snowstorm. And the sand would be representative of the snow, and it was everywhere. It was piled everywhere, and they were running like 30 trucks nonstop and bringing it down and putting it into this pile that is on Lover's Key. So much has been brought out. A lot of these companies are just getting to this. This whole thing right here got washed away. That still floods significantly in the high tides. This was started right before Hurricane Ian, and now it's just now getting finished, and they had to dig it out of sand. If you look all the way down that road right there, there's all kinds of sand that's still piled up on the roads. They basically worked on getting all the sand off of these main roads so that traffic wouldn't be snarled. Now, because of these hurricanes, I think because of these hurricanes, I'm going to make an assumption, we have had our season has started early. What I mean by that is the amount of people that are down here earlier than they normally would be is significant. It's very significant. You can tell because when you go to a traffic light that would normally take 1 cycle or 2 cycles to get through are taking 3 to 4 cycles to get through. So that just means there's a lot more traffic. So this right here, this is Big Hickory Island, and this, if you notice, there wasn't a lot of sand that got up on this road, and it's because all of the mangroves and those trees that are native to Florida, well, they knock down the surf. They knock it all down, so none of it got over here. Now we're coming up on this bridge. This bridge is New Pass. Just past New Pass Bridge on the left is the dog beach. And the dog beach, man, you would think that this sand would have brought the elevation of the dog beach up enough that people don't have to walk through water to get back to the dog beach like they've had to do for years. But that's no can do. So that noise you're hearing is my my top in my Jeep. It's a rag top. So right now, kind of low tide. You can see the brown there. You don't see that when the tide's up a little bit higher. This over here is New Pass. This is where a lot of people come to party on their boats on the weekends and stuff like that. Over here to the left is Dog Beach. Over here to the right is a great place to launch your kayaks and stuff like that. And it's not very deep. It's only like 2 to 3 feet deep in the normal. That's the Dog Beach walking area. You see it? You gotta walk down through the water. Now this is Lover's Key. Dog Beach, you have to walk down through water to get down there. Now, sometimes you don't, but most of the time you have to. This is Lover's Key. Right here to the left, there is places that you can kayak and stuff inside of here. And there's a place called Black Island that's inside of there. And there's a lot of manatees and stuff that hang out in there. They've got a place in there that you can kayak, and you're not allowed to have motorized boats and stuff in there. So the next thing that's coming up, so on the left, we kind of snuck in there and looked around. We were just curious to see what was going on, to see if Hurricane Ian messed it up and ripped out their gazebo and their bathrooms that were down on the beach. My wife and I got married down there. So coming up, so basically they just had to clean it up. They had to do something to the bridge, but this is that mountain of sand. So that mountain of sand is being worked on right now, and that mountain of sand is being split into another mountain of sand, and that mountain of sand is the cleaned sand. I'm going to come back here and talk to this guy and see if I can get some of this sand right here. This is the dirty part of the this is all the stuff that they took out that is it's the unclean sand. So these guys are working working the sifting machine. That's the small stuff. Over there is the big stuff, and this guy probably recognizes that I'm here because he chased me off of here before. And then over there, that's all the clean sand. So that's the guy up there working. So he's looking at me because he ran me off of the pile with my Jeep one day. So basically what has happened here is all the sand came here. Now they need to process it, and process it means that putting it through that sifting machine. And what they do is they pull all the impurities out of it and the bigger stuff, and then they put it into these piles, and these piles are clean sand. Now there's a truck behind me. I don't know where he's coming from or where he's going. They were trucking this stuff somewhere. I don't know where they were trucking it to. So I thought that maybe they were bringing it down to Fort Myers Beach. And honestly, if you look at the beach renourishment, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters if you have a building that's in harm's way. But it doesn't matter in the sense that there's so much sand that's coming. When they start sucking it in off of the bottom of the Gulf and bringing it into the beach, the amount of sand that they bring in, it's a lot. It's a lot. And they're going out really far. They're going out like from what would be like the DEP line. It looks like they're going about 200 feet out. So right now we're coming through they're putting in this $90 million bridge for Fort Myers Beach. This is the Big Carlos Pass. And we're basically, they're building this thing up and getting ready. So that is the ramp that goes up to the bridge. They've got the first support finished. There's the second, there's the third. So those big red things are forms. And what they're doing is they'll fill them up with concrete, and they got big rebar cages inside of them. And those are gonna be the supports to hold the bridge up. That bridge is gonna be, when you get to the middle of this bridge, this is the Big Carlos Bridge, and it's a draw bridge, and it's way past its prime. It's coming apart if you see it from underneath. That bang, bang, bang is them pushing them concrete pilings in until they get to the point where they won't go in any further. They have 7 of those gigantic cranes here working. This building right here to the left, we pulled some big stumps out of there for them with our excavator. And I'm going to go ahead and drive the whole beach at this point and just talk about what's going on. So these guys are getting close to being able to be back in a big way. Now it's 2 years, 1 month past Hurricane Ian. Hurricane Ian just put the hit on the whole Fort Myers Beach. There's a lot going on Fort Myers Beach right now. There is a lot of questions from people about whether they should come down here or not. Like all them trucks right there, those guys are getting the finishing touches on that building. And I'll tell you, if this is a place you vacation or some place that you love during the wintertime, just come on ahead, man. They got a lot of businesses open. A lot of people got their properties back on. Our Airbnbs will be done by December 15th. I got 13 of them flooded when you include my house. So my house I've been back in for a while. Some of these buildings like that one there, I guess they're up in the air about what they're going to do with it. Same thing with this one. There's not being touched. That one there, somebody's actually living in it. And maybe that's what they're going to do. That's what FEMA wants you to do right there. They won't have any walls that have to be rebuilt. That one, they just stripped it out the other day, so they must be going to put it back together. This one, they've been running their butts off trying to get it done. I walked through there. I ended up there by accident, the wrong address, on one of our properties we were going to do a demo on, and they're pretty far along. A lot of the Hurricane Milton storm surge got dissipated in here. This is kind of funny because these guys, if they didn't mark all that furniture up, that's one of our trucks. That's tailing. That's one of our trucks. So if they didn't mark all that furniture up, it would be gone. Because it's a commercial property, they won't pick it up. FEMA won't pick it up. They have to have a special contract to pick it up since it's a condo. So that's probably what we're doing down there right now. Colton, or one of my guys was down there. Talon was down there. He's more or less our third. It's the 3 amigos. It's Dave, Logan, and Talon. We've been running this business since we started. So he's talking to them. I remember Ryan with Beach Talk Radio talking about the fact that they won't pick up this stuff because it's commercial property and they have to pay for their own disposal. So I think there's a separate FEMA contract for that, but I heard the mayor talking about it. And then over here, the Islander's open. There's another store next to it, and this right here is Surfstyle rather. And I don't know if they're open yet, but they're going to be shortly. The CBS is definitely open. The 7-Eleven, that's the only 7-Eleven on the beach that's open. I heard that they're putting the other 7-Elevens back in, The 1711 was bought up by the town for parking next to their town hall. That's coming up here shortly. This one here, the amount of repairs they had to do for their structural engineer must have been pretty minor because they already put the building back together. And fortunately, they didn't have to repaint the whole building. This one here, they took all the stucco off to look at that building, and they got to put the stucco back on, and that is part of the 25-year requirement that they put on here. All these trucks, they're hauling sand down here from someplace. I don't know where they're bringing it from. We tore that building down. This one here, they're going to have a restaurant upstairs and downstairs whenever they can get their permitting finalized. This is London Bay's property, and over here to the left is also London Bay's property, and those are both properties. This right here, this green building, and the building next to it are, that's for the new town hall. I see that Extreme's got their painting company over there. That's cool. And we are coming up on the Catholic Church, and we've been talking to them because we heard they were going to tear it down, and they're telling us they're not. They put up their new screen. It looks a lot better. They fixed their fence. Their fence got trashed from these hurricanes. That's a brand new one. That's a brand new one. This one right here, I don't know what it sold for, but I think it sold for close to $10 million. That one of my neighbors built that. A lot of the sand that did get on the island on Estero Boulevard was from this point down. There wasn't very much of it here. Now this one here is not being touched. I don't know what's going on with that. You couldn't see, you could barely see the ocean driving down Estero Boulevard. So now what happens is you can see, and although you're not supposed to, there's plenty of places to park. So if you want to park and come to the south end of the beach and not have so many people to deal with, you could do that. This has got a lot more sand on it than it did, and it's a lot more leveled off than it was. There's a lot going on, and we've come a long way since Hurricane Ian came in. This building right here, it's all marked up. They got to do their 25-year inspection. They have to take a bunch of the stucco off in order to see if it's cracked underneath it, and if it is, they'll just repair it. All those buildings right there were on the market for like $16 million, and the market in Hurricane Ian blew up a couple of them. They're all frame. This right here was put in by, I can't think of who put it in there. It's like a $10 million project, Wyndham Construction. So these guys almost done. That's the house that the guy lived on his roof because they wanted him to tear down a perfectly good garage. Some of these places are almost to the point where they're going to be opened back up. So it's Dave Lockwood, Remove It Pros, and so we got a couple things going on. These buildings right here. It was Potter Homes that built all those back there. That little complex. There was like 10 units in there. So this building right here is got to be about ready to get occupied. They've been working on it like gangbusters. They totally rebuilt that thing. This one's just partially getting worked on. That's a brand spanking new one. This is Newton Park, and they got silt fence up, so they're doing something in there. So part of the beach renourishment's going to come up and over that wall. They filled that wall in. That's us putting our daggone silt fence up for the fourth time. That's where that 7-unit building was that we tore down. If you've been watching our videos, the tiki, somebody asked me about that. There it is. It's gone. All the way down through here, let's say 5 years ago, you couldn't see the beach. Between the landscaping, the houses, the garages, and everything, you could barely see the beach. Now on Fort Myers Beach, you can see the beach for probably 50% of the whole island. The island's 7 miles long, probably about 3 miles of it you can actually see the beach, which is beautiful. A lot of the stuff's been cleaned up. There's still some things that need to be cleaned up. A lot of the storm surge, it's hit the same houses again. The guys that are have had their house flooded so many times in a row. I've heard a lot of people saying, that's it, I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm not doing this anymore. And this guy right here, we tore down 3 houses for him. Everything he had was frame. Everything he had to be torn down. And that was the location of one of them. I think he bought the lot next door. The guy must be loaded. So this is what they don't want to see. They don't want to see stuff like that sitting that's not being worked on. All these things are all cleaned up again. I noticed that one, the garage door had been blown out. This one we cleaned up. Fort Myers Beach got a hold of us and asked us to take all our signs down, so we did. We took them all down reluctantly because we're fitting within their guidelines. We just want to be a good neighbor. They're sick and tired of looking at them, and they're just doing it with everybody. This house right here to the right, that house, it fell over in Hurricane Milton. It blew it over. So it wasn't completely done, and I don't know that it was, I don't know, maybe not a good method of construction. I'm not sure. I don't want to speak for them. I feel sorry for them. That's a bad thing to happen. This is Seagate. Seagate bought this too. That used to be a mobile home park. I think they paid $12 million for that, paid $25 million for the other side. There's a couple of new ones that are being built. This one here, they've got it up and running. It's been up and running for maybe close to a year. We did some work on that one as well. The food trucks and stuff like that, they're supposed to be telling these guys they're not allowed to be here. I'm not pro, or I think they should be able to be here. We need to have them, but they need to have a long-term plan in place. Unfortunately, that we can't have trailers here forever, and FEMA's rule is that you're not allowed to have trailers here, period. You shouldn't have had a trailer here anyway, so why are you asking if it can stay longer? So these are problems that we have created for ourselves by allowing this. Now right here, this is Fort Myers Beach. This is their sand pile, and they haven't been pushing it up onto the pile. This is that house right over there. You see right over there. I lived in that. There was a little cottage there. I lived in that for 2.5 years. Logan and I, when we started Remove It Pros. Remove It Pros started right here. We're an interior demolition and a exterior demolition business. That is the old the old town hall is where the sand is. That's where the old town hall was, and they tore it down because it was destroyed. Now all this stuff looking good, looking cleaner. These guys had a business here for a while, like a bar, outside bar, and I think Hurricane Debbie ripped up their tent and they just gave up on it. Hopefully they're going to find a permanent location somewhere down through here. There's some of these buildings that could be made back into and could be repaired. The commercial buildings can be have a first floor, and there's no problem with that. So this one right here, this guy was going to try to keep this building and sell the building intact. The city has notified him that they're going to tear that building down. I don't know where the status is on that. These guys, for Hurricane Milton and Hurricane Helene, they packed all their stuff up and took it away. We had our dumpster here for about a year. Thank you for letting us leave it here for that long. Had some good stickers on it. We ended up buying a dumpster that was crap. And the first time we used it, we ripped it. The second time we used it, we ripped it. But it was pretty. So we put a bunch of stickers on it, and we started using it just to as a sign. So a lot of these beach properties here, they still have debris, they still have substructure, and they're not being cleaned up for some reason. I guess the people just don't feel like doing it. It probably, a lot of people here, they have money and equity, but they don't have money in the fact that they don't have a job or anything. They inherited the money or whatever. So I don't know what's going on with the Lani Kai. I've been snooping around asking people. Nobody knows. So this right here is the whale, and they're coming along. They're thinking they're going to be open next summer. This is Margaritaville, and that's the parking lot that they had to put in order to be allowed to do this on the beach. They have been hammered four times since even before they got opened up, because what happened is Hurricane Ian hit before they got opened up. So they were the blessing The first thing of substantial, and it's kind of the gateway into our community. Thank God they're here. It looks beautiful. It's a beautiful place. I eat there all the time. I think it's awesome. I wish that the valet situation was different here, because I end up parking on somebody's vacant lot and walking over. So basically we're coming up. This is an area of the island that floods when there's a king tide. It normally doesn't affect anything, but these hurricanes, there was a lot of water down through here. Matanzas Inn open right back up. They're about 2 foot up, so if they're getting water, it's not much at all. The upstairs part of Matanzas, the restaurant is open. The upper deck is open. The bottom one, they're working on it. I don't know what the status is on that right now. Nervous Nellie's is open. That is a badass place to eat. So is Snug Harbor, which is right around the corner here. They put this, where did they put this? Is Bayside Park, and they put this in, and they have little concerts here. This is Wahoo Willie's, and Wahoo Willie's is my favorite right now. Let's see, Margaritaville will be my second favorite right now. It changes. SOB's is going to be open soon, and one of my friends actually put that together a long time ago, and that has had a strong following, a community following for forever. This is another friend of mine. I saw him the other day. I don't know. It's got to be hard on him. So, but he's not hurting. Let's just put it that way. Or maybe he isn't. I don't know. I just, nobody knows. Everybody's financing. I think he's probably just fine. So this is coming along. They're almost to the point where they're going to be able to open up. Surf Style is there. That used to be Wynn's. The pizza grill's open. Mr. Waves is open. There's not much going on. There's a little ice cream trailer behind the pizza place. They've cleaned this up quite a bit. This is Lynn Hall Park. There were restrooms and stuff, buildings in there. This is a lot of parking that the city has went ahead and put in front of. There used to be condos there. That used to be the 7-Eleven. And the beach renourishment is underway in a big way, and they are. It's really amazing how much sand they're bringing in. It's absolutely amazing. It's unbelievable